everyone. Good evening. Are you guys hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Okay. My expectations for the class this year is that since it's a soft skill webinar, I'm expecting to gain knowledge and gain some
Thank you so much.
ideas that
Hi everyone, good evening. I don't know if it's you've been waiting for.
Good evening, Amarachi. Good evening, everyone. So this is our first session for today for this soft skills program. And currently we have our facilitator on the call. So I would be reading a bio so we can start immediately. Thank you. So Amarachi Nnadebe believes that before you show up for anyone else, your clients, your team, your community, you have to show up for yourself first. That conviction sits at the heart of everything she does. She's a social media strategist who helps Nigerian businesses grow through storytelling, deep brand understanding, a clear knowledge of what their audience truly wants, and content strategy that converts. She's currently building Uzora digital branding, working across education, solar energy, fashion, coaching. But beyond the strategy decks and content calendars, Amarachi is a deeply curious and creative woman who finds joy in crafts, art, and imaginative storytelling. She's the author of The Visibility Shift, an online event facilitator, and is one honest conversation at a time. Amarachi is a strong advocate for personal growth and soft leadership at every level. I believe Wherever you have a task to deliver, you owe it to yourself and everyone counting on you to be self-equipped and ready to give your best. So let's show our reaction as she takes the mic and give us what she has for us today. Please show your reaction, everyone. Let me see excitement.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so sorry for being late. I apologize once again. Thank you so much for being here. Without missing much of our time, I'll just dive into what we have today. Because I'll be sharing my screen. If you need to know anything or you can't hear me, please use the mic because I'll be leaving this call screen any moment from now. Just give me a few seconds, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. But we haven't seen your presentation yet.
Okay. Sorry. Can you still see my screen? Is the presentation on now?
Yes, it is now. It is.
Okay. So today I'll be taking us on how to understand ourselves. So in this section, we're going to learn about emotional intelligence, self-awareness, personal values, personality, and a growth mindset. So let's dive into it. Now, when we talk about emotional intelligence, we talk about your ability to understand and manage your emotion, and not just your emotions, both your own and those of other people around you. So we often hear about you have high EQ, you have low EQ. So it's just about being people smart. You just have to pay attention to others, their emotions, the right time to talk, when to consider them, and all that. And if I ask you now, how much do you understand yourself, or how well do you understand yourself? I don't know how much you can talk about yourself. I don't know how much you know yourself. I don't know what you can say about yourself, your triggers and everything. So, and this brings us to self-awareness. When you talk about self-awareness, it's the core of, sorry, is the core of personal development. That is where everything starts because you understand your weakness, you understand your strength, you you understand your weakness, you understand your strengths, you know your habits, you know what triggers you. And we have when we how to understand self-awareness, we have the internal self-awareness, which is the clear recognition of your own deep-rooted values. So things about yourself. It's just all about you, more about your internalities, your capabilities, your skills, your triggers, your professional blind shots. Then we talk about external self-awareness. That's where you talk about the how people perceive you, people's perception about you. So those characters you display to people, your relationship with people, you want to know how people perceive you, the energy you give. You talk about what kind of aura, know when people they'll tell you don't listen to what people are saying. But at the same time, to be able to live with people or have a clear relationship, both at work, you have to understand how your personality affects other people. Then we talk about the performance impacts. Now, there are people that we specifically admire because they just have a way to making decisions. You find out that when there's problems, they are able to prefer not just solutions, something a very strong solution. Their thought process is always different. They communicate with confidence. So that's what we talk about the performance impacts, the things we act out, how well we are able to do it. Now, without self-awareness, you feel that you'll be able to, you're always doing things at the right time. Your emotions are very wrong, and you cannot be able to do certain things. You're trying to micromanage everything. But with self-awareness, let me just give you an instance. Like, let's say you're someone that gets nervous when it's time to, maybe you're given a project to do and it's time to present your project. You already know that you're someone that gets very nervous. And when you're nervous, you can't be able to present. Now, without self-awareness, you'll not be able to know that. Or you know that you know that each time you don't know what causes you not to talk when you're in front of people. But if you have self-awareness, you already know that, okay, I get anxious and this makes me not to talk. So therefore, this is how I should do it. I should be able to be prepared very well, take a deep breath, take it slowly to understand. So this is what self-awareness helps us. It helps us to keep things under control. Now, how is self-awareness used in workplaces? The first is receiving critical feedback. You want to be open to listening. You've presented, you might think you're good at what you do. You might think you're the manager of a place or CEO of a place, but at the same time, we make mistakes. So your ability to calmly listen to feedbacks and improve on it is the first thing. That's when we talk about that's what we talk about self-awareness. Your ability to calmly listen to what is needed and improve on where necessary. Nobody's trying to attack you. They're all trying to point out the places you're lacking. So your ability to calmly listen and improve. Then making biased decision. Now, there are people that make decision based on bias, maybe because of your relationship with this person, because of your relationship. Therefore, you can't make a critical judgment. You can't make a firm judgment of people, or you make judgment based on the good feeling. Because I feel this way, because this person make me feel this way. You just make your judgments about the person. Then managing stress and burnout, how you're able to see early signs of physical stress, poor sleep, losing patience. Now, there are people that don't know when they are fully active. There are people that are saying that, okay, at night, I'm always active. And you find out that they push all of their major projects at night because that is where they feel so much peace. Their head is resting, they are calm, so they can be able to pay attention to projects. So these are things. This is how we use self-awareness in our places of work. How is self-awareness used in leadership? We know defining leader whether. So, there are this office, when you go to work, be like, this is my manager, you can't even talk. Once the manager is around, he's sad. The whole company is sad. When he's happy, that's when you are allowed to be happy. Then we have the admitting mistakes, the humble ones, the admitting mistakes, humility, those that blame the team for failed projects. Anything that happens is because of it. They don't want to accept mistakes. There's no how you talk to them, they will accept mistakes. They are never wrong. Then we have knowing the blind shots. They are the leaders that know where they are lacking. They know that, okay, they are also human. Even as much as they have certain experience, they can be wrong in certain things. And so they pay attention to their team. They try to understand where the team is struggling, understand each team's stress, each team's weaknesses and their strengths, and start to improve on it. Then leverage their strengths to make the team very strong and for productivity. Then here we'll talk about personal value. These are our internal behavioral decisions. These are our core beliefs or principles that guide the way we behave, choices we make, how we act out things, our inner behaviors. So we can just call it our operating system. And we have core beliefs. These are things you cannot negotiate. Your integrity, fulfillment, your strategies. They're just certain that they are non-negotiable for you. That this is it. Okay, I've set this is what I'm going to stand by. I know that you find out that each time you fail to stand by them, they affect you. You don't feel easy. You find out that things are always amiss within you. Once you just break those beliefs you stand by, they are just things starts to go wrong within you. Then the next is personality and behavior. Now, when we talk of personality, there is who we are. Now, these are just things that we cannot just change. they are not flexible, right? Even if it can change, it takes a very long time. So these are hardwired. Like we talk about someone being introverted or someone being extroverted. These are not things you can just change because you want to change. You find that it's gradual. You take a step. Oh, this year I'm going to go to one. This year I'm going to go to one, or this month I'll go to one networking event. It just gradual. It doesn't just change. Then behavior is what you do. Your outward expression of your personality, how you now those internalities, your internality, your extrovertness, your extrovertness. Being an extro, is it a warranty for you to start being too loud when you're supposed to be quiet? Is it the time for you to start infringing on people's rights? Is not. So the behavior is now how you act out those personalities. Then how it affects our workplace? Communication clashes. We have the dynamism. So when a high detail-oriented worker focuses purely on data and facts, now that's personality traits. You're high detail-oriented, so you focus on personality traits. So, and you find out that your colleague is highly relational, because there are people that you're more focused on work. You just want to work every day. You just want to see that so if they leave you, you can work the whole year, stay by your system and work the whole year. But you have in your workplace, you have other people that are actually relational. They want to work. They can only go by focus for 1 hour, and they just want to relieve the stress by engaging in conversations on other things. Then the impact is that if you have a low EQ, emotional intelligence, they are going to clash. If both of them have, you're going to clash. In the sense that the data focused worker, we think that the other person is wasting. You're just wasting my time. We're supposed to be working. Every time you're supposed to be working, you play a lot, you play too much, those kind of things. And this other person, we think that that is data focused, you're very serious. You think that you're too serious now, guy. Free yourself. So, but if two of them have high EQ, or have their EQ is high, they will reach to a level of understanding. Okay, if we work for 2 hours, let us take 1 hour break so that other people can also reach the needs and get to work. We have the task allocation. Now, this is the time where you find out that this person is an introvert, and you're putting the person in an aggressive environment, a fast-paced environment. You know how introverts are. So they don't really, their work mode is different, especially when it's depending on if the environment is fast-paced and filled with so much people, they have to talk to a lot of people. It will be very hard for them to actually perform very well. So you need to notice this. What is this person's personality? Where can this person thrive more? Where can which place, part of this team, can their productivity, can their personality be leveraged more? You focus on that. Then we talk about the growth mindset. Now, this is how we unlock human adaptability, how we perceive challenges, failures, and all that. A growth mindset believes that your basic abilities or intelligence can be developed through dedication, hard work, learning. Now, it's believed that your brain muscles can get stronger. You can train your brain to do better. Then we also have the fixed mindset. These are those that believe that, okay, I'm naturally not a good dancer. I'm naturally not a footballer. I'm naturally not strong. They don't believe that they can learn. They just believe that, okay, because I'm lacking in this is how it's supposed to be. There is nothing that can change it. I can't even work to do something like that. How does this affect the mindset? The first is handling obstacles, the way they handle obstacles. When there's a problem, the other person is seeking for solutions. If you have a growth mindset, you've been seeking solutions. You don't believe that this obstacle is the end of it. You find out that you're keen on looking for solutions. There's definitely a solution. Even if it takes you 1 month, you just want to see that this thing is solved. Why the person with the fixed mindset is just, since there's a problem, they might just leave the task like that and look for a new one. That's if they even have the wit to look for a new task to pick up. Then handling mistakes, the way they handle mistakes. Some people feel that once they make one mistake, they are failures. The fixed mindset feel like they are failures. Sorry, guys, I forgot to ask you. Can you guys hear me? Are you people still on the call?
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
Oh, all right. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Handling mistakes. So the person with the fixed might feel that okay, they're already a failure. Why the person with the group might, oh, I make this mistake, they reflect, they feel bad, they are humans, they'll feel bad, but how can I get out of this mistake? How do I get better so that it will not repeat itself? Now, viewing co-worker as success. Some people view once your co-worker reaches a milestone, you feel like, oh, you are a loser or you are bitter. Somebody with a growth mindset would want to know how you're able to do it, and not just they challenge. They become so challenging. I want to challenge. Okay, he won the best worker of the year. How am I going to win it for 2 years in a row? How were you able to do it? They become so challenging. They want to do better, not just view the other person as doing too much. Some people say you're doing too much. It's just doing ITK. That's for those with the fixed mindset. How does it affect leadership mindset, performance, and potential? So you feel that leaders with fixed mindset feel like that people are either superstars or mediocres. So once somebody is good at it, he's a superstar, he's good at it. And once you're not good at it, you're just not good at it. And you can never get better. I find out that those leaders with fixed mindsets, their work settings, they don't go, they are so allergic to changes. They are so afraid to try new strategies. Once they find something that works, they want to stick for it for years. If you're bringing new ideas, and that's what some people be like, this, well, I can't stay in this work environment for long because it's not developing me. Just like when you choose to go for an internship, something like that. You sign up for internship, you're supposed to be learning and growing. You find out that you've already given everything safe that you've learned, you've managed to learn, you've poured it today, and you're so exhausted. You're not taking anything because your boss does not accept change. They have sucked out the rest from you. Then handling mistakes. So, like I've already talked about, innovation and fear, trying new things and the fear of losing out on what you already have. Then we have co-worker success. Like we already talked about the first time. Some people believe the success. Once this person is doing well, okay, it's very good. Once this person is doing great, feels in it, they feel like you're so too feel. Something might go out to the essence of even sacking. You don't belong to the company. Then we have receiving critical feedback. There are those that you can't even say anything to. The fixed mindset. You can't say, you dare not say anything to them. It becomes a challenge. Are you challenging me? You know I'm your boss. Those kind of things. And because of that, it's hard for the team to get better. We see someone with a growth mindset. Once you meet him, you present your words very well. They'll be like, okay, even if they do not own to it immediately, they're likely not to argue with you, but they'll still act like the boss they are. But when they go back, they'll think about it, still come to the team and they'll talk about it. You find out the environment, the jobs are growing, the workers are fighting so hard to get better too, because the environment is challenging them to be better versions of themselves. So the question is, what kind of person are you? What kind of think within yourself? So if you want to understand yourself, these are the certain things you have to do. You have to think deeply. Learn. Why we are in this meeting, a lot of us might have such personalities. It's very hard for us to grow or do things outside of what we already know. It's hard for us to even take on new courses for everything. So this is the time for you to even get better in your work environment. You have to understand yourself. You have to have a growth mindset. For you to do better, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to have your personality have to grow, and you have to depict it in your behavior. Are we following? Are we following?
Yes, we are following now.
All right, thank you so much. So now I have a few activities for us. We have my personality group map. So the first thing I want us to do is you ask yourself first, who are you? You list your strengths. You list them all the strength. The first thing is celebrate your strengths. You list the strength. What? Because some people believe they are not good in anything. This is not the time. Everybody, you're good at something. So figure out what it is you're good at. Just three. Then, what areas do I need to improve? You write it. The core areas. You write that thing that keeps making you lose job or making you not deliver tax. And you know that it has cost you a whole lot. Write those things. What are your top three values that you want to stand by? You write it. Then, what is your personality tendency? What is your personality? You write it. What is that thing that you want to change about you? That you know that's because you know it's similar to what I mentioned earlier. Then a skill that you want to develop. Some of us have many things we are learning from project manager. You never even finished the course that you started this year. You're already switching to another one next year. You're just doing things half. But at the same time, there's something you're eager to learn. Maybe that project management you're handling now is something you really want to do, but you're not good at it. Because of it, you're not getting enough clients, or you're not being employed. If it's that thing, stick on it and challenge yourself to get better, even if it's at one thing. A skill, then a goal for the next 30 days. Now, let's not make it a full year. Set a goal for the next 30 days. Start from little goals. It doesn't have to be that huge. Then pursue it. What are your action plans? State them and pursue them. Then what is the one action you take this week? So you've set your goal. So how are you now going to embark each week? What's one action I will take this that will change who I am? That is going to change where I am today. You state them. Sorry, excuse me. So now this brings us to personal growth journal. Each day you wake up, you should be able to ask yourself what happened today. And that's why they say you should keep journal. It takes your mind aback to reflect. It helps you to reflect on things. It also helps you to remember, keep memories, just like documenting events to get. If you led a team or carried out a project and you're able to document what you did, you can refer. You already know that, okay, these are the strategies I carried out that helps with this. And you have another project, you can adopt some things from there. You can also use it as a proof. So each day you should ask yourself the question, how did I feel? Identify the emotion. How did I feel today? Then why did I feel this way? What is your trigger? The possible trigger. A colleague annoyed you, there's an outburst or something. It could be anything, it could be something positive, negative. State it. How did I respond? Did you respond? What did I say? Was it insulting? Was it disrespectful? How was it? What could I have done differently? So what could I have changed? Okay, if this was bad, if this was what caused my anger, what could I have done differently so that it will not escalate to this? What did I learn about myself at the end of it, or what did you learn about yourself? Are you someone that's okay in the midst of a heavy heat or at a serious argument? How did you react? What triggered me to release the first lap? What triggered me to leave the first punch? What triggered me to get too violent? You want to know and you want to stop it. What did I do different? What will I do differently tomorrow? So tomorrow we figured out all these things. So how are you going to do it differently? So these are the questions you're going to ask yourself. So this brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I don't know
Okay.
if are you guys still listening? I think I'm actually out of this. Sorry, my screen is still clear.
Okay, we're still with you.
All right.
All right, everyone, can we show our appreciation to our facilitator? She has really give us a lot, and I mean a lot, because my key takeaway was self.
All right. Please, can we share our key takeaway? Just one thing you learned, at least from this, and one thing you're going to adopt. Nobody's responding. Should I just call name? Chinaze
I think
Bere.
it's better you would call names.
Chinaze Bere. Caleb. Chiamaka. Toyi. Please, if you're on this call, respond. Say something.
I can hear you, ma, and I've been following. Particularly, I took note of the having a like the test step plan and all of the action steps and all of that. So I'm following now.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Emeka, is there any other thing? You guys, is there any question?
Okay. Thank you so much, Amarachi, for this amazing session. And I'm sure everyone have grabbed one or two things like me now. I've grabbed a lot, especially being self-aware, having this growth mindset. Growth mindset enables a more effective workplace instead of the fixed mindset. Growth mindset always looking for learning, upscaling more and more, and that is what I took from the session. So I would want to know if anyone have any question for our facilitator, and also before we go ahead, the attendance form is in the chat box, so you can copy it and then fill up the attendance. That would be necessary for your certificate. So we employ you to fill up the attendance. Go ahead. So since there is no question, I'd want to let you guys know that today was an amazing session, and I hope we really learned a lot. And I hope we have also filled the attendance form. So we are going to have our next section next week, Friday, and we'll be expecting you also. Further information will be sent on the group. And I would wish you guys good evening, and also have happy Sunday in advance also. So, so bye guys. See you later. Fill up the attendance form as you leave, please. Thank you.